So you all see the red berries on my ginseng plant right there? And here's another one right beside of it. The berries have done fell. So I will just put the berries right over there. See a daggone deer's track there. I'll plant them right back where they come from. But just to let you guys see what ginseng roots look like. Well, it's way down in there. Look at the daggone ants. Destructive little critters. That ginseng's really deep right there. Here it comes. See that little root? That's what your roots look like. And that ginseng, you guys, to see how old it is, you count the bud scars on it, of course. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years that stuff's been growing right there. And there's another one in there. I can get it out of there. Right there it is. This has just been growing right here in my backyard garden because I planted the seeds. You see that? Pretty nice little root, but not very big. You'd think. Now, I don't fertilize this garden right here, y'all. This is my herbal garden, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that ginseng right back in there. Next year, that ginseng will come up again if something don't destroy it. Well, good morning, everyone. May the good Lord bless you. I hope you're having yourself a wonderful day. You all in this video, last year's video that I did about ginseng, really did pretty good on YouTube as far as my videos went. I looked there the other day and the ginseng video had over 100,000 views on it. So it was a popular video. So I decided I'd come out here a few days before season opens, harvesting season opens, and do another video, not dig any ginseng, but just show again what it looks like and how I find it. Guys, I'm in the state of Virginia. I live in the state of Virginia. Right behind me is the state of West Virginia. Now, I'm at 3,590 feet. All you got to do is pull up your compass on your cell phone and it will tell you what your elevation is. Now, guys, I've been hunting ginseng since I was a teenager. Even before that, my dad introduced me to it. I introduced my son to ginseng hunting. And when I was growing up as a youngster on the farm, I would work all summer long and not make more than $40 at 25 cents an hour on that farm all summer long, which was, you know, pretty good spending money for a teenager back in those days. But when sang season come up, that's what we call it, sanging, ginsenging, I could make $75 in one day digging ginseng. So naturally, when the season came in, I would try to get out there with my dad and we would dig ginseng together and we would half it. So sometimes we could dig 3 and 4 pounds of ginseng. And Lord, that was over 50 years ago now. More than that, because I'm 72 years old now. But I've been digging it here in these mountains all of my life. I know how to dig it, but I don't dig it for money anymore. I go and look and see where it's at. Sometimes I will take the berries and transfer them to different locations in the mountains and plant patches where there's no ginseng at. And I'm sort of like a Johnny Appleseed for ginseng now. I do use it as a stimulant because that's really what it is. It stimulates your system. if you have high blood pressure, you don't want to use ginseng because it's going to make your blood pressure go up. But you know, the Koreans are the ones that really buy the American ginseng from the United States. Of course, up where my son lives in Wisconsin, they have ginseng farms where they grow homegrown ginseng. It doesn't bring as much money on the Korean market as the plants that come from the hills of the Appalachians or Pennsylvania or wherever else that you all dig your ginseng from. So with that, I'm going to go down from the top of this mountain and see if we can find some ginseng plants so that I can show in this video. Hopefully we can. And it is almost season now. In a couple of weeks, September the 1st, it will be ginseng hunting season in Virginia. And that will go all the way through December. But remember, you only want to dig your 3-prong or better plants. And I'll show you what that looks like. And if you like this video and videos like that, go on there, watch the other video that I done about it, and please share this video. So let's get on down the mountain and see what we can find. So that just gives you a scope of the hunting territory. You see the mountains way there in the distance. You can see I'm right on top of the mountain here. And believe it or not, we will probably find some ginseng right here within the next couple of 100 yards. Now I always do this in these videos. You see that plant right there? That's wild sarsaparilla, an edible root that the Indians used to make teas and food. This is called foolsang because it doesn't have the berries coming up out of the center of the plant, but it looks like ginseng. Many people have been fooled by foolsang, okay? So let's go and see if we can find the real McCoy. Now you can probably hear the interstate there in the background. The interstate noise carries really, really good in these mountains for some reason or another. But the foolsang is everywhere in here. And that's a very good sign that it's good habitat for the ginseng. I'm just showing this right here, you guys, just to show you what the conditions are right in here. Straight up and straight down. Now you all, I say this in every one of these videos. If you try to hunt ginseng just looking for the berries, you're never going to successfully hunt ginseng. You've got to be able to identify that plant in a million other plants, just like it was your own mother standing right in a crowd, and you would know your mother's face. That's how real ginseng hunters find ginseng. A lot of times the berries will already been dropped off. Something will come along and eat them. And you just cannot be a successful ginseng hunter if you're just looking for red berries, because there's all kind of different red berries in here at this present time. And when people see them, they think they found the golden goose when they haven't found anything. So you all have went 1/4 of a mile, and so far I have not found any ginseng. But I'm not discouraged. You have to go slow. You have to look in front of you, behind you, and all the way around you to start discovering your ginseng. Make sure you have a stick of some type to pry the leaves back with the other plants, so that you can see, and also you can knock a rattlesnake in the head if you have to. Because believe you me, I'm right in that country right now. But I'll give you a look right down through yonder. See that? That's straight down. That's straight up. You can see the skyline up there about 200 yards away. Check out the mushrooms on that tree right there. There's one thing I like about living in Appalachia, you all. We live in a virtual pharmacy. God's garden, in other words. The plants that were made to keep us healthy. Now, I just looked down right in front of me, and we're going to take a look at the very first ginseng plant that I found during this trip, the very first one. Right there it is. That's actually a 3-pronger, legal to dig. Of course, we're not digging ginseng. We are looking for ginseng. Here's a little one, a couple of little ones, what we call onesies, 1-year-oldies. That's probably came up off of this plant right here. Now, if you take a look up the hill somewhere, I can guarantee you that the mother plant that planted these seeds right here, this ginseng plant, is here somewhere. So what I usually do is I will go make a circle down the hill. It could be a 100-yard circle. Zigzag back and forth and see if I can find the mother plant to this one particular ginseng plant right here. But the berries are still green. The ones that I had actually planted in my herbal garden have already turned red. But that's what it looks like, so let's see what else we can find. There's another one, you all. See where the little seeds used to be? Now you all, the deer will browse on these things. Here's another one, right here. Pretty little plant. And there's wild edibles right here with it. Right there's an Indian cucumber that you can eat if you need a snack. But so far I haven't found any huge stuff with any red berries on it. But these little plants had to come from somewhere. You know, maybe an animal ate the seeds and transplanted them here. I don't know, probably did. Of course, you know, back in the old days, these mountains were full of loggers and ginseng hunters, and they would just literally wipe the ginseng patches completely off of the face of the earth. So that's the reason that I like to stay up high. I'm within 200 yards of the top of the mountain here, you guys, and your bigger ginseng plants will usually be up here because they survived that onslaught of ginseng hunting over the years. I'd really like to find a 5-pronger. It's been years since I found a 5-pronger. The last one I found, it was so deep under the rocks, you guys, that I could not get the root out. I could not get it out, but it was a 5-pronger, great big huge plant. Looked like a little tree. Right there, y'all. Nice little example of a young plant that shouldn't be dug. But since they call it a 3-pronger, it's legal. In other words, it's got 1, 2, 3 prongs on it, see? So that's legal to dig, but I guess if you're in poor shape and you really need to dig that plant, I guess you could do it. But I wouldn't dig it. Of course, you all, I couldn't go through here without showing the girls their plant, black cohosh. You can see the seed berries on it there now, where it was a big long white bloom. This has been harvested for years just for the cranky little girls. They get in a bad mood. Now you all, this heart-shaped plant right here, you can dig this stuff all winter long. This is wild ginger, and it is some potent ginger, you all. Wild ginger. Of course, I would be not treating you right, guys, if I didn't show you stinging nettle. One of the most nutritious plants in the forest, stinging nettle. Also a very, very good plant to make cordage out of. There's some long since gone birch polypores, you all. It's a dead birch tree right there. Been a long time since I've seen any that's turned black. See that pretty little plant, you all? Yellow jewelweed. Now we're not along no creek bed here, you guys. Check this out. Top of the mountain's way up yonder. But right here is a gigantic patch of jewelweed. Harvest it and make your salves out of it, so that you can have it when you get bug bitten or you get poison ivy. You gotta watch where you step in these mountains, you all, because you can fall down a hole and break your neck, your leg, and never get out. Watch where you're stepping. Well, I tell you what, you guys, I'm well over a mile into this trip, and those are the ginseng plants that I've found so far. If I see anything else that's interesting or find another nice ginseng plant, I'll show it in this video. But I got to make a humongous circle back to the top of the mountain to get back to the starting point. Rattlesnake plantain, you all. Good for your toothache. A few minutes ago, you all, I showed you the Indian cucumber plant. Well, here's what the little cucumber looks like. See that little white cucumber? You can cook these guys like potatoes. You can eat them raw just like I'm eating them right now. It actually tastes like a cucumber. They're all over the place. I mean, if you're here and you needed something to eat, you know you can eat these Indian cucumbers. See, guys, I don't know if you can see these red berries right here or not in this video, because I'm probably 4 foot away from them, straight down. And here's what'll throw people off right here in the distance. These are called fairy bells. And they're all over the mountains right now, and those berries are red. And they will definitely throw you a curveball at a distance. You all, I'm making my way back to the top. I stopped on this deer trail right here. You can see it going straight out through there. Look at that. Haven't jumped a deer though. But right there is an interstate highway for whitetail. But I'm almost to the top of the mountain, as you can see. Right there she is, about 40 yards away. If you take a look right down through here, this is literally straight down. If you got bad knees, you ain't never gonna make it in mountains like this right here. Another thing that'll make you think you're looking at ginseng at a distance, you guys, is false Solomon seal. That's what that is right there. False Solomon seal. Well, you all, thank you for going with me on this little adventure right here. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, please share it for me. That will help my channel out to get some views. I'll get on out of here. May the good Lord bless you. If you go ginseng hunting, send me some pictures. I'd like to see what you dug. See if you found some really good ginseng. If that's you all, I'm going to let you go. Until next time, may the good Lord bless you. So long for now.